Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out live free picks for today's card. And on today's show, a picture here from college football. Got a couple there for you. Action for today, scheduled on Wednesday. Also, 11-game card from the NBA. A little bit of college basketball mixed in as well. And if we get a hockey guy in here, then we'll also get you the NHL, which has a scheduled card for you guys today as well. So make sure you guys hit that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us build our audience here as we go here on the show. Of course, welcome all you folks in the chat there as well. So let's get rolling here with the show. As we will take a look here at college football to begin the day here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show. Let's take a look here at college football. 2 games in action. We got Kent State and Ball State going head-to-head. Here we see Ball State going to lay 2.5, total 47. Northern Illinois and Toledo. Well, this one looks to be Toledo laying 14.5. There's a 15 at Circa now. Total sits here at 42.5 in this one. And pretty much the way I look at it here, I've got I'll look at Ball State in this one. Kent State has lost all of their road games. Ball State has wins it against the MAC at home. A notable win there against Ohio here, 20-14. Kent on the road in conference, giving up 45 points a game, averaging just 10. So they're getting outscored by 35 points a game on the road against the MAC this year. They don't rush the ball very well. Again, very poor quarterback play. This is all on the road in MAC play. Ball State at home in conference play, put up 31 points a game, rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. And as a road dog, Kent just 3-13 of the spread. Ball State 12-2 the spread at home. We'll look at Ball State in this one. Continuing here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show, as we've got Northern Illinois and Toledo head-to-head here for today as well in action. I'm going to be looking at the Northern Illinois side at the plus 14.5 here. You know, Toledo and their 2 home victories here in the MAC were against really some of the downtrodden teams in Kent State and Akron. So their conference numbers are going to be skewed a little bit. You know, NIU has lost and failed to cover both the games on the road in the MAC. That's against Ohio and Eastern Michigan. When you look at the Huskies, they're pretty much a one-dimensional team. All they do is try to ram it down your throat. Effectively, I say there, because they're running for 5.3 yards a carry, not getting the best quarterback play whatsoever at all. So I'll be looking here at this Northern Illinois side, taking the plus points here. And looking at NIU here, I think they're pretty much an upgrade to what Toledo has faced there at home in conference play, as we mentioned, the Kent and Akron. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show. As we continue on here with the show, we're going to turn our attentions here to college. We got college football on the way. We're going to go ahead and go over to the NBA. Let's see where NBA numbers are here. NBA. There we go. We got 11-game card tonight from the NBA. So we'll do a 4, 4, and 3 on our blocks here for this card here on a Wednesday 11-game card. NBA. So let's see what we got rolling here for you guys today here on this Wednesday NBA lineups, NBA starting lineups. All right, let's see what we got rolling here as we begin with NBA. We got the Sixers and Cavs head-to-head. Here we got the Cavs going to be laying 10, total 235. Nets and Pacers. Well, it's the Pacers laying about 7, total 232.5. Jazz and Pistons here. Pistons laying 10, total 231. We'll close the block with the Wizards and Celtics. We got the Celtics laying about 11.5 with a total of 233. And I'll tell you what I think here about these games. In the Philly-Cleveland game, we got Barlow, George out, and Embiid doubtful. He's really pretty much a 22-minute guy. And I just got to tell you there, I don't expect him in the lineup. McCain is questionable there. For Cleveland, we got Strus out, but Allen, Garland, Merrill are all questionable. And then we're looking at the Utah and Detroit game. Kessler and Niang here are out. Detroit, Scott Tobias Harris, Ivy, and Sasser, they're both out here for this Detroit Pistons team. And then going over to the next one on our block here, it's Brooklyn and Indiana. We got Highsmith and Powell out for Brooklyn. For Indiana, still that laundry list. Furphy, Question, Cam Jones, Mathurin, McConnell, Nemhart, Obi Toppin. Brooklyn 0-7, Pacers 1-6. Wow, Pacers really off to a horrid start here. Really hit hard by injuries. Wizards and Boston here to end this block. And we got Middleton out. Of course, Tatum is still showing on the injury report because I guess they haven't ruled him out for the season. I guess there's some hope in Boston that somehow, some way he'll play late in the season because he's still showing up on the reports. All right, Nets and Pacers, these are two really bad teams starting to start the season. I'll look over. Brooklyn is just playing terrible defense. If you look at their defensive numbers, they've been absolutely horrid. They're 0-3 on the road. And in those 3 road losses, in these 3 road games, they're giving up 133 points for 100 possessions. That is absolutely atrocious. You look at Indiana at home, they're allowing 124 points per game. And they're doing terrible as well here defensively. So I'll just look at the over in this one. Nets are 5-2 the over this year, so I'll look at the over in that one. Sixers here and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to look here at I'm going to take the points. It's a lot of points to give with Philadelphia. Because when you look at Philadelphia, not relying so much on Embiid. Embiid's only the 5th leading scorer on this Sixers team. Look at the 4 top scorers here for the 76ers team. Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, Grimes. Look at the 3-point shooting. All of them are hitting 42% or greater from the 3-point line. When you look at these Sixers shooters, so I can only look at them in this spot with the way they're hitting their threes. Cleveland at home shooting just 42%, but giving up 50% shooting. They're not playing at the level they played last year. That's for sure to start the season. They've not shot the 3 well at home. And and of course, the Sixers have covered 5 of 7. I'll look at Philadelphia here. Their shooters, those 4 shooters, man, it's amazing how well they've been shooting the 3. Your top 4 scorers hitting 42% from 3 or greater. Look out for the Sixers team. Yeah, they had the tough one last night against the Bulls. 2-point loss. I'm not going to frown on them because the Bulls are off to a hot start as well. Jazz and the Pistons. I'm going to go under in this one. Utah on the road averaging just 102 points per 100 possessions. Detroit has won 2 of 3 at home, averaging 115 per 100 possessions. But Utah not shooting the ball well on the road, just 42%, 29% from 3, averaging 102 points per game. Really, it came down. The reason they beat Boston just can't shoot threes. I think it was, 22% in that loss. And that's the issue with Boston this year. So they're not making threes. The 3-point shooting, I think it was under 30% last I checked. It was pretty horrid there. So I'll go under in that one. And the last one in this block is Wizards and Celtics. Boy, the Wizards have been tough to back them, especially getting all these points this year. So I'm just looking at their totals now because they're a young team. I like the veterans on their team, but Middleton's one of them that's out. All they got is CJ McCollum and a bunch of young guys. So it's going to be really tough to back the Wizards because they're not going to play much defense. They're just very young right now. But Boston, they have lost 3 of 4, give up 117 points per 100 possessions. Washington has lost 3 of 4, struggling there to put points on the board. That's the problem. They're averaging just 102 points per 100 possessions. I'll look at Boston in this side here. Wizards over their past 5 games getting outscored by 20 points a game. The one thing that Boston's doing well is defending. That's all they can go. They're not shooting, but maybe they can outlast this Wizards team that just can't defend anybody. And I just think I like the direction they're going into. Got young guys, Balabi, they got Sarr, and a bunch of draft picks on their in their rotation. It's going to just take time for them to get everything put together. But I'm not the doom and gloom guy for this Wizards team because I like what they've done with the additions, those 2 veterans, and then of course just going with the youth movement here. So we're going to see how all these young guys get it together there for the Wizards. I kind of like that direction they're going into because didn't like the rotation with Poole, Kuzma, Beal. They got those guys out of the system. So it looks to me that they're going to move in the right direction. It's not showing up right now in the stats or even on the scoreboard because they're just too young. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show. Continue on with T-Wolves and the Knicks. This will be your ESPN game. This one should be pretty good here. Knicks laying 3.5, total 228. Rockets and Grizzlies. Boy, the Grizzlies really having their struggles. A lot of talk. They want to move John. We'll see what happens there. But the Rockets here, 7.5, total 232.5. Pelicans and Mavericks. Mavericks laying 7.5, total 227.5. Boy, they needed a less shot for the Pelicans to beat a downtrodden Charlotte team missing their 2 best players. Oh, that was a rough win, but they got the job done yesterday. Heat and Nuggets. Boy, that looks like a lot of points here. Nuggets 9.5, total 242. So let's take a look at the injury reports here from this game. There, we're starting here. We're moving over to Minnesota Knicks. We got Edwards questionable. Duncan Robinson here is showing here as probable. Somebody in the chat mentioned the status here for Cat. I don't see the Cat. I don't see anything on Cat. Yeah, I do see Cat. Cat just hit the injury report as we speak here. I just refreshed. Yeah, Cat is questionable now for this New York Knicks team. I don't see. Let me see what my live service says. Yeah, it's come down from 3.5. It was was an opener of 5.5. We've seen it come down to 3.5 based on those and that news of Cat there, because Cat hits the injury report as questionable there. He has been downgraded to questionable. That is correct there in the chat. Houston and Memphis. There we got Finney Smith and Van Fleet out. We got Adams and Smith questionable for Houston. On the Memphis side, it's still Clark, Edey, Jerome, and Pippen. Looks like John Morant is in the lineup today. And then we're looking also in this block at New Orleans and Dallas. We've got in this one Missy, Murray, and Zion out for New Orleans. It is a back-to-back for them. We've got Davis, Exum, Irving, and Lively out for Dallas. Again, Irving is still showing up in the injury report because, well, they think that there's a possibility he may come back late in the season, so he's not ruled out for the year. So some of these guys are going to still be on his reports, even though we project them probably not to play this season. I think it really comes down to how they look toward the end of the year. If they have a shot, if some of these injured players think they have a shot to go for a deep run, well, maybe they'll suit up in April or March. We'll see. I don't know. That's hard to say. Miami and Denver, one of the highlight games here. Hero and Rozier still out for Miami. Jakunic still questionable. On the Denver side, just very probable. So it looks like it's a pretty clean report for Denver going into this game tonight. Of course, Miami still on this road trip here, stopping in Denver. Looking at this Houston-Memphis game, how I saw it a little bit. I like the over in this game. We're seeing Houston games going over all of a sudden. I guess that's what Durant does to the team. Houston's won 2 of 3 on the road, averaging 125 points per 100 possessions. They've been a very efficient team on the road, a plus 13 net rating. Houston, they've dropped 2 of 3 at home. They're giving up 116 points per 100 possessions. But you look at this Rockets team on the road, 52% shooting, 44% from 3. Memphis is playing at a fast pace. Defensively, they've not been good, giving up 49% shooting, 38% from 3. Rockets 4-1 to the over this year. I'm going to go over there with Houston and Memphis. Pelicans and Mavericks there. I can only look at the Mavericks. They've got rest advantage coming into this one. New Orleans 0-4 on the road, give up 126 points per 100 possessions, a -9 net rating. Dallas, well, we know they've lost 3 of 5. They're going to try and do with defense here. The Pelicans on the road, giving up 51% shooting and 126 points per game. Not a good sign there. As I said, Dallas is defending well, defending a 3-point line as well here at home. And rest advantage, I can only look here at Dallas. It's a tough one. I'm really not going to bet that. But I just cannot trust New Orleans on the road. It's been rough here and there in a back-to-back. Zion not playing. Heat and Nuggets. I said it was a lot of points here, and I believe it. I'll take the 9.5. As long as Norman Powell's playing, I'm going to take Denver here, getting points. I know it's going to be pretty much a healthy Denver team, but I like what I'm seeing here with Heat team. When you have Powell in the lineup, he definitely seems to be the difference. We know Denver's won all 3, have a very high net rating here at home. Denver plays fast. Miami is shooting here on the road 50%, 39% from 3. That's the road numbers. But Denver, the one data point where they're kind of struggling this year at home is hitting the 3-point shot, where they're hitting only 31%. And I'll look here at Miami here at the plus the points. All right, let's continue here on the Tony S'mores Show. I'll look at some of your chats before we close out the NBA for tonight. It is a lot of points to give the Sixers. I agree, especially with their 3-point shooting this year. They're not so reliant on Embiid. If you look at the numbers, 5th top scorer, only playing 22 minutes a game. He's going to miss probably today, but I don't think they're going to miss him. Someone told me they're moving on. But you're right. With the shooting, as long as the shooting can hold, they'll be competitive in games. No doubt about that. Nets money line. Wow, that hurt your stomach. Just don't watch it. If you're going to do that, don't watch the game, because the Nets will definitely – there'll be some spots when you're going to really be sick to your stomach. There you go, from JM with his 3-teamer there, Knicks, Boston, and Detroit. And NBA's a mess. Where you been the last 5? Where you been the last 6 years? That's how it's been. It's interesting when you bring this up. I really, I think it was it Peacock that did this? They interviewed Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan said something that really stuck to me, because they asked him about today's game versus when he played. Because he kept his mouth shut because he was part owner of the Charlotte Hornets, so he kept his mouth shut. Now he's opened up a little bit. And it was very interesting what he said. And he talked about the difference between today's players and the players from the past. And Jordan said he would play hurt. And he said, and they asked him, why would you play? One of the players came up to him. They noticed that he was limping during the shoot around. And they said, you got to sit. He goes, I'm going to play. Jordan played hurt. And that was kind of the mantra for players in his era. And the reason, and this all makes sense, the reason why he played hurt is he said, if I sit as a leader in this team, that means everybody else is going to sit. The domino effect, right? And that makes a lot of sense to me, right? If your star players sit, well, let's just say your second best, third best, big reserves, they're all going to sit. So that was the thing that really stuck with me here with Michael Jordan, kind of like the mindset was back in the 80s, 90s when he played, and even into the 2000s, you get into Kobe's era, is that when the superstars sit, it gives a green light to everybody else to sit. So that's why Michael Jordan played through his injuries. And boy, I wish that would hit social media more, and that would somebody clip that on Peacock, because that would really, really wake up the league and really explain what we're seeing right now with all these injuries. It's when your superstars sit, it gives a green light to everybody else to do it. And that was a really, really interesting interview there Peacock had as they debuted the NBA with Michael Jordan. I think he's just showing up for interviews now. I think that's all he's contributing. But man, old school guy, that's right, there with Michael Jordan. I mean, it was a different year back then. A little different year. I mean, listen, if back in the workforce, if you came to work, your boss would say, if you're going to call in sick, you better give me a hospital room where you're at. That was a different world back then. Yeah, big money, threes, but that was no doubt about that with Michael MJ. Made a really good point that really stuck with me there. It made a lot of sense. Your leaders sit, it gives a green light to everybody else to sit. If you play hurt, then the guys behind you will do the same thing. So that's something that I learned there from the Michael Jordan interview. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show as we continue on here, closing out the NBA with these final three on the board. Thunder, Blazers. Here we got the Thunder. Here laying 4.5, total 230. We got Warriors, Kings. It looks like the Kings here are going to be laying 3.5, total sits 225.5. Spurs and Lakers. We got the Lakers here 3, total 220. It looks like Rod coming in today. Rod, what's going on?
Not too much, Tony. How's it going, buddy?
Doing all right.
Good morning. Sorry about that. This
no
thing's
worries.
happening. It's just nuts.
We know when you live out in the prairie, we all take electricity, water, everything for granted. But when you live out in the middle of nowhere, out in the prairie, it's not easy.
It's not easy, no, because you got to bat down the hatches, and then it's the winter. The summers are nice, definitely. You get a nice hot summer weather. It's great. We got lots of lakes around for fishing and that stuff. But also the dreaded winter is that time of season. It's the time of season where you get a 40-degree temperature change, where it goes from 70s, 60s, 70s during the day to 20 overnight. Which is what it was last night. And 50-degree temperature change is absolutely crazy. And that's what we deal with out here in the prairie. So it goes from being nice and hot to, look, there's your frozen water. Really tough to cook or do anything with frozen water. So, hey, take those luxuries that you can go flush your toilet and it can go and away it goes. Where I live, that's a good chance that can freeze up if you don't do things right.
Yeah. That's why I never got a cabin in the mountains. I just didn't want to deal with the snow.
Deal with the snow, right? Yep. It's
and the cold.
It's the cold. And when I was younger, I was like, it's not that cold. It doesn't affect you. And you wonder why the seniors are all like, hey, what? It's cold. Well, guess what? I'm getting older, and I'm like, it's cold. You got to feel it. You got to feel the cold setting in your bones before it comes. It's actually true that you've been around so long that you can feel the weather when it's moving in. So, hey, it is what it is, Tony. I bought all lock and bear, but it's quiet. See, so I traded in the hustle and bustle of hearing ambulances and fire trucks going all night, 24/7, to quiet. The worst you get is a magpie on your fence going at 4:30 in the morning to wake you up. But other than that. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I like it.
All right. So we're in the NBA block, Rod. So we covered. I guess you can do the first 8 on the board here.
All right, first few on the board here in the NBA. You know me, NBA is like not my favorite sport, but hey, I'm looking at a couple spots here. Hey, Philly, second half of back-to-back here, taking on the Cavs. I think this is one of those spots that I think Philly's in trouble. I know they've been pretty good on the road. They did lose yesterday, I believe. If I'm not
mistaken. They blew a lead. They blew a lead of Chicago.
Yeah, had themselves a lead, rolled along. They were rolling. They were big in that game, too. That's right, because I had the team total over 119 and a half, and they just took their foot off the gas and scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. And I was like, what the heck is that? So, yeah, I can't take them there. I'll take the Cavs. I think they run right over the 76ers. Take advantage of a team here on the second half of the back-to-back. And you look head-to-head between these two teams. Hey, it's also a revenge spot, as they say. 76ers got them last time in a higher scoring game, but when they come to Cleveland, last time 76ers ended up in Cleveland, they didn't even score 100 points. So I'll lay it there with the Cavs in that one. And then looking at the Knicks here at home, 4-0 against the number, land 4. I don't trust the Timberwolves out here on the road. 3-1 to start out on the road, but 50-50 coin flip price at covering numbers. I think land 4 here with the Knicks. I think it's a 10-plus point win there for the Knicks in that one. And then another one I'm looking at here. Do you really trust Boston to land 12? I don't know. Betting on Boston to try to turn the corner is definitely not where I want to be. I'll take the over in that one. We know Washington doesn't play a whole lick of defense whatsoever. They're giving up about 129 points a game. So if Boston does do the bulk of the heavy lifting here and score that many, we're getting over this 233 here in this one. So give me the over between the Wizards and Boston. And then one more, it's Denver at home, right? And taking on the Heat. I think I'm going to lead to the Heat here in the first half. 4.5 points you're getting here in the first half with the Heat. I think it's a slower start for the Nuggets there. Miami comes in. Is Powell in?
Yeah, he's in. He's in.
He's in. Oh, then perfect. Yeah, I love that Powell's in there. He's had a great start to the season. If he stays healthy and continues along, watch out for this Heat team because he's definitely putting the team on his back and carrying them. So give me the Heat plus 4.5 here in the first half. I think they come out hot. And Denver, slow start to this game.
I think the Clippers miss him. The Clippers miss him. I think the
Clippers do miss him. I think the Clippers do miss him. He was the glue guy. Definitely. Norman Powell was the glue guy there for the Clippers, and you could see it. Expecting Harden to go off for 30-plus points on a night. He tries. He definitely tries to still be the ball hog old man like we seen last night trying to score 30-plus, and he just didn't have it. He can only go. He tried. He put in a lot of minutes last night for the Clips. Scored 25 points. Definitely tried to turn back the clock, but you can see in that fourth, he just was out of gas.
Yeah, it was out of gas. They needed that third guy there with Leonard, Harden. You could trust Powell, but we'll see. I trust Powell more than Beal. I'll tell you that. Some people think, no, I would rather have Powell than Beal any day of the week. Any day. I agree that with the Wizards aren't going to be a tough to cover defense. It's not because they're just too young, Rod. They got rid of they're just going with the youth movement. Two veterans and one of them is hurt today. So and a bunch of young guys. So they just realized and that's the direction. And I like that direction myself. You don't need all these veterans. You've got a bunch of draft picks over the couple of years. Just play them and deal with whatever the results are. Let them develop. And it's going to be a tough season this year because we see these young guys. Biggest fault they have is defending.
Yes, definitely. We know this, as you said, as I popped on the show, I heard you talking about the way things have changed, and that's definitely one of the things that have changed in the NBA. Work ethic wise, not as much. They don't have that same. It starts with the leaders. It starts with the leaders.
It does. Leaders when they sit. Everyone else sits. If you got a leader that'll play through elements, everyone else will do it.
Yep,
it really starts at the top.
Up and grabs the team, puts them on his back, and says, "Hey, come on, guys, let's go. Let's get the thing rolling. Let's start to do this thing." And then most people will follow right along and be like, "Hey, yeah, I can do that. All right, let's go." And then that carries everybody along. So.
Yeah, it was good to hear what Mike's doing. I'll start the last block here. OKC and Portland. Here we got Topic, Kendrick Williams, and the good Jalen Williams out here. Dort, questionable here. Doesn't matter. It looks like OKC might be spot-proofed again. It's a back-to-back again. Portland here. Henderson, Thibault, Wesley are out. Sharp is probable. Warriors and Kings here. We've got Curry, Horford, Melton, Tui are out. Jimmy Butler's questionable here. This is a back-to-back for the Warriors. For Sacramento, it's Murray out. Sabonis and Levine questionable, so that's a little concerning there. And we also have in this block, in this one, in the final block, the Spurs and the Lakers. It's Wemby versus Luka show here. Fox, Harper, Cornette out for San Antonio. Olenek, Socon, Waters here are questionable. On the Lakers side, it's James, Cleaver, T-Row out. Reeves is questionable. Hayes probable. OKC and Thunder we already covered there. So last three, Rod, what do you got?
Hey, for me here in this last three, big game, right? Spurs, Lakers. We know Lucas he took a little bit of a break. He took the last game off for the Lakers. Well, everybody took the last game off. I think they were looking forward to this spot here. So this should be a good game here tonight, rolling along. So for me, you look at what the Spurs have been doing defensively. Playing solid defensive basketball, holding teams to 44% field goal shooting, only giving up about 108 points. And the Lakers, well, they don't have that same type of defensive prowess. They do offensively scoring a little more than what the Spurs have been doing, hitting 52% of their field goal shots. But Spurs, so this is basically your typical offense versus defense here, right here in this one. Yeah. And I'm telling you, defense always wins out. So you're going to give me points with the Spurs coming into this one. You know, you can't tell me that Wemby doesn't want to come in here and smack the Lakers around and be like, "Hey, we're the new brother at town. We're gonna take it to you." I know a lot of people will bet up the Lakers too in a 2.5. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Spurs on the money line. I think they come into LA and get themselves a win outright. Give me the Spurs there in that one. And then I'm gonna go with Portland. I know OKC usually spot proof, back-to-back spot, but Portland scrappy group. You're giving me 5. That might even go up to 6. So I'm not rushing to the window. That's a later game, not tonight. By the happy hour, I'm telling you, if that thing's up to 6 or 7, I'll bet it again. I'm going to take Portland there in that one, plus the 5. I think it's a tough back-to-back spot. OKC dealing with some guys that are definitely not at 100% to start the season and not at 100% coming into this one. So on a back-to-back, you want to push things, especially against the Portland squad that we know is pretty good. I think it's one of those. OKC lets up a little bit. Portland's got a good shot to win this one outright.
Yeah, the youth there, see what it comes to. And interesting to note, this will be Portland's 8th game, and 4 of those 8 games, they've had rest advantage.
At rest advantage, yes.
Right. Twice against the Lakers, once against the Warriors, and here against the Thunder.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of a funky scheduling there to give the benefit there. I'm going to go under with OKC and Portland. I look for a slower pace here with OKC coming into back-to-back in this one. Portland is shooting just 46% here at home. They've been poor from 3, although defense hasn't been there. But OKC, their one bad data point, it seems to get away with it, has been their 3-point shooting on the road, just 29%. But they defend pretty well. It's a slow pace. When you go back and look at last year, you combine last year and this year's numbers, they're 20-11 to the under as a road favorite. I like that one to go under the total there. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show. We'll kind of back up with Rod here, go to the college football for days. Maction. We got Maction all to themselves.
Maction. Oh, no. Hold on. Let's close that. Is it just me? Hey! Tony looked like he might have froze up a little bit, I think. Solo. All right, we're sold. So we're looking back at the college football here. Some action here on a Tuesday. As Tony said, we're backtracking a little bit. Hey, we got Kent State taking on Ball State here in this one. We also got Northern Illinois taking on Toledo. And for me here, you look at these two matchups. Kent State, Ball State. Definitely not my favorite game. I would lean to Ball State. Pretty good at home here. You know, the Flashers still 0-4 on the road, 2-2 against that number, and I think only 2.5. That's not enough. I think Ball State wins by 3+ there at least in that one at home. Solid 3-0, 3-0 against the number is Ball State. So give me Ball State, lay the 2.5 in that one. And then I like the Rockets here in the spot. I think this Northern Illinois football squad is definitely in trouble here. Offensively, not very good. Toledo can stop the run, only giving up about 2.7 yards per rush. defensively is this Toledo squad. And so Northern Illinois is going to have to be using throwing the ball down the field to try to get at it in this one. And I just don't see it. There's no chance. I think Toledo runs that up. I think they win by 3 touchdowns plus. So I'll lay the points there with Toledo. Hey, that wraps up the college football. I'm not sure Tony did the college basketball, but hey, let's head on over to some college basketball action. We got the football in.
Well, good, really good, very good. I just got booted out of the browser. I don't know what the heck happened there, but anyway, yeah, let's get to college basketball. Rod, we'll go as we usually do. Just give us what you got.
All right, let's roll. We got there's a few spots here that I absolutely love. First one we're looking at. I don't know if we're going to do this. First one, I got South Dakota heading in to take on Creighton here in this matchup. Creighton starting the year ranked 23rd. Look, they're laying 28.5 here in this one. The big thing that I noticed in this one was when you go have a quick little look at the Creighton team total in this matchup, it's 98.5. Is where the books have this team total for Creighton. So that's telling me that Creighton's going to run right over the Coyotes. Coyotes are going to be left on the side of the road for roadkill. I think they easily plop 100 here on the Coyotes. You look at the Coyotes, they battled in that game, but came up short against Utah Tech in their first game of the season. Lost it by 3 points late. So defensively weren't very good. And I'm telling you, bookmakers telling you all you need to know. Creighton at 98.5 is their team total. That's nuts. They're hitting 100, and they're going to pin 100 on the Coyotes here. So give me Creighton, lay it. Big number, I get it, but lay it. They probably win by 40 plus over South Dakota in that one. And then another one I'm looking at here is where is it? There's a couple on the spot here. I'm going to take Northern Alabama here against Mississippi State. Mississippi State's solid squad, but I think Northern Alabama returns a couple guys that can keep things close. 24.5. It's just a touch too many for me. I think it's a 13, 14-point win for Mississippi State there in that matchup. I'll take the dog. And then one more for you guys. I'm going to take Tarleton State. 16 points. Too many. I think they can we know this basketball team's pretty good. Look at that. Their first game on the road, they did lose. But they got the cover. Again, Tarleton State get disrespected. Give me Tarleton State plus the 16. Going to take on LSU in this one. LSU, pretty good team, but so is Tarleton. I'll grab the 16 with Tarleton.
Yeah, from Rod, I got one for you here. I'm going to go ahead and take Eastern Washington plus the 8.5. I know they played UCLA tough. They covered that line and only lost that game 80-74. But really got my attention. Yeah, they shot 54%, but they only lost the rebounding battle by 2. I mean, that to me tells me that they were able to rebound and effectively against the Bruins, and they just grabbed 2 less rebounds. And of course, Loyola Marymount's numbers are going to be inflated because they played some team called Lincoln of California, which I have no idea. I've never heard of Lincoln, California before. I don't know where they're at. They're probably a Division II, maybe even Division III, the way it looks like. But yeah, I'll look at Eastern Wash here to cover this one. They didn't have to travel anywhere; they stayed in LA there, so. We'll look at them in that spot, even though the number opened 6.5 and moved up to 8.5, but I'm not afraid of that. I am not afraid of the movement. I'll take the value there. I took what was that mover? Evansville plus 33 or 34 it was at the close. It moved from Purdue. It landed. They covered. They covered against Purdue.
You have to cover. It's all counts.
Faded that move.
Or don't.
Or don't. Did not cover that big number. That big move did not get home. All right, Rob, we got some NHL for today. The Mammoth. Yeah, the Mammoth are big dogs here. $1.50, 6.5 against Toronto. Blues and Caps. Caps $1.48, total of 6. Blue Jackets, Flames. The Flames $1.14, total of 6. Blackhawks and Canucks. We've got the Canucks here, $1.62, total 6. And the Kraken, your late night game as well. Kraken $1.60, total 6.5 against the Sharks.
Yeah, and you look at these matchups here. San Jose, I'm going to go late night and work our way forward the other way. Going to do a little bit of reverse here. We're looking at San Jose taking on Seattle to get things rolling. San Jose, hey, starting to win some hockey games. 4-5-1 last 10 games. Seattle, well, 4-2-4. So they needed some overtime in these matchups. Has Seattle not hammered down winning, but they still haven't lost in regulation. The Seattle squad at home. So what are we going to do? I'm going to take Seattle in regulation. I don't think this thing needs overtime. I'll take the Kraken there in regulation. Another one we got. You look, Vancouver dominant over these Blackhawks. 11 straight wins for Vancouver coming into this one over Chicago. But last 10 games, Chicago 5-3-2, Vancouver 5-5. So both teams playing some pretty good hockey. This should be a coin flip price, by the way that I'm looking. Offensively, Chicago scoring about 3 goals a game. Well, the Canucks are a little bit less than that, about 2.8. And then defensively, Canucks giving up about 3 goals a game, while Chicago's about 2.8, so a little bit less. This should be a coin flip price, and it's not. I'll take the Blackhawks there to come into Vancouver and snag a win. And then, hey, I don't bet Calgary a whole lot, but I'm gonna take Calgary here. Take notice when I bet Calgary, usually it's a good bet. Calgary had that nice little road trip, won a game or two in that competitive. Coming back home here after a lengthy road trip usually is a spot you fade the teams, not Calgary. Last year they've won 5 straight in this spot, following 3 or more game road trips. They come back home and they play great hockey and win those games. So we know what Columbus has been doing, playing pretty good hockey as well. But I'll take the Calgary Flames there in that one. You see why they're a favorite. The book's trying to bake you into Columbus in that one. Another one, St. Louis. This St. Louis squad, I can't figure them out. Maybe if they get some consistency rolling along, they lose a bunch, they get themselves a win. Well, thanks to Bouchard, they got themselves a win. He basically handed that play right over to St. Louis. And the Oilers are on this, let's get up 2 and then blow the game. We've done it 6 times already this season, have the Oilers up 2 goals and then blown those leads and lost those games. I think they have 2. Quote me, it took overtime, but I think they wanted to shoot out and lost in an overtime. So it's just been tough there. And I think give me Washington at home. I know Washington, you look not playing the best hockey, but over the last 10, they're playing better than St. Louis. I think Washington in regulation in that one. You can knock off that juice to probably be close to an even price for Washington. And then the Mammoth. Look at the Mammoths, just been playing absolutely lights out, 8-2. Almost one of the last teams in the NHL to start the year. Coming into Toronto, though, taking on this Leafs squad that no slouches of their own. They definitely got plenty of snipers playing half-decent, solid hockey, especially at home, 6-2-1. You look head-to-head between these two teams, it's been Leafs, but it's been 1-goal games. So if you want, I would grab the Mammoth here, grab +1, the Nino special on the Mammoth. I think you play about a -20, 120, but I'll take the Mammoth plus the 1. I think it's a 1-goal game anyway. Slice it. I lead to the Leafs getting it done at home. There's another one. Take the Leafs in regulation.
There you go from Rod. That was Desmond Dane that launched the ball on Kunu, Bane for Orlando there. That would happen. It wasn't Beal there. All right, we got you through the hockey. We got you college basketball. We got you college football. We got you NBA. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment where our cappers can give out a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. We start with Rod.
And I threw in a couple of in regulation plays. That's what we're going with. This is where the parlay is. 3-teamer on the ice. We're taking the Toronto Maple Leafs in regulation, the Washington Capitals in regulation, and the Seattle Kraken in regulation. 3-teamer for you.
Okay, right there from Ron. I'm going to the future again with college football. I just did a 10-game video here for some of the Saturday games. One that stuck out to me was take Jacksonville State here, -1 against UTEP. UTEP has been pretty much a train wreck. They're 0-5. They're spread at home, one line between +3 and -3. We know Jacksonville State can run the football. They've won 2 straight on the road. UTEP's lost 3 straight at home. Gamecocks had defended well on the road in conference. The quarterback position here. Again, they're getting good quarterback play on the road, 71% completions, 10 yards per pass step. We know they can also run the football. That's what they do. I'll take Jacksonville State there to get it done. All right, we got you through our parlay promo segment. Now it's time to see what we have for sale over at Tony's Fix. Heading to a nice week of action with a lot of college basketball. We got NBA on the board, hockey up there as well, NFL, college football, CFL playoffs, and more. Rod, what you got for sale over at Tony's Picks?
And for me over Tony's Picks, I've got 6 plays in total today. I just have to throw them in a package for you. I'm going to have a 3-pack in the college basketball slate for you here today. Three there I absolutely love, and then one of those is my best bet of the day. It'll be my gold star play of the day. We dropped it. I had the Ducks, and last night Ducks were up 12, 13 points, and then they just completely fell apart down the stretch in that second half. Not what I expected to see. I was like, oh, here we go. Here comes the Ducks. They get rolling along, and then all of a sudden it was like, complete collapse by the Ducks. So I made note of that. I was in the early season in college basketball. That's where I make my notes. I think I learned more off of a loss than you do off of a win most of the time. Because some of these wins you get blown out, so you got to make note of those losses. I always do that in your handicap and make sure that you take note. Why did you lose that bet? Go back and look at your losses. Be like, hey, why did that bet lose? I thought I was on the right side. I capped everything right. And then go back and look and see. Be like, hey, what the heck went wrong there? Where did I mess up? Sometimes you can find yourself and direct yourself on those caps. So definitely do that. But anyways, off a tangent. Hey, I have 3 college basketball for you. I'll have 2 in the NBA, 1 on the ice. So those will be a 2+1 package. So a mixed sport rolling. And then I'll have, as I said, my top NBA play will be up there. We crushed that yesterday with the Raptors. It was just one of those spots. I'm high on the Bucks, but it was just you got to attack the Bucks. 3rd game, 4-night back-to-back spot as well. Raptors took advantage, got the win. So I'll have another NBA for you tonight. I see one spot that's nice to attack there. And then, as I said, 1 in the NHL. So they'll be up momentarily. I'm going to tell you within about 10, 15 minutes. Those will all be up for you today.
Look over those spot plays.
Yeah, spot plays. You got to find. That's what you do when everything overlaps. Find those nice little spots that make you some money. Dig deep into it and ready to go. I just was in the middle of putting in the packages and seeing that Tony was all by himself today. So it's like, no, that's no good. Can't have that. So jumped in. If you got some winners, you got to jump in. And nobody wants to be by themselves on the show trying to give out plays. How can you have a debate? It's really tough to debate with yourself. Then you get in trouble. You get in trouble when you start debating with yourself. People are like, hey, what's going on over there?
That's right. Spot plays. I think back to Phil Jackson when we talked about the spot plays. He was interviewed after a big blowout loss. It was the day after, and he goes, sometimes the schedule deals you wins, and sometimes it deals you losses.
Yes. It's just sometimes you just and they know what it is. Even teams know what it is. Going, man, we're in trouble, boys. We know we're all tired. It was rough. It was a rough. One of those spots they coming into it. Teams they battle. I've seen teams that battle, but I've also seen teams that'll just fold too. Whereas they didn't have no effort given whatsoever in those spot plays.
Yeah, and that was the TV guy. When the TV guys, the crews, I always tend the coaches seem to be more honest with the TV crews that follow them more than the general media when they're on that podium.
Right? Definitely.
Definitely do that. All right, guys, have a best bet on the board. Hey, we got a 2-for-1 cap promotion. Match me up with Ron there, if you would, over at Tony's Picks. Of course, I have a best bet for you. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must earn a profit amount purchased is credit back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee. Get on board with me over at Tony's Picks. Use our promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. Guys, check out our YouTube channel. A lot of great content up there. Live shows, 3 live shows. We got ours. And of course, Rod, you've got that happy hour, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, this is the perfect time of the year with all these NBA injuries, goalie changes, and more. Even college basketball, you could have some key players in or out as well.
Definitely, right? You look at the college basketball, same thing, injuries, NBA definitely, especially this time of year, you need that the later info. So definitely tune into the happy hour show, 5 p.m. Eastern, maybe 5:10, 5:15. But around that 5 p.m. start, we're ready to roll there on the happy hour. And same thing, NHL's doing it as well overnight, as somebody alluded to. It's tough to do an NHL video with no goalies. Like not even one. It's you kind of have a guess. So I'm going to give you, I'm telling you, I'll start shooting some more of those. But they're going to be guess goalie watch, so I don't want to see him in the comment section go, you didn't get the right goalie. Well, yeah, because it hasn't been announced. So I'm looking and giving you some info. It'll say these are the goalies that are penciled and projected to make a start. Sometimes, just like NBA, they decide that goalie isn't going to make a start after the morning skate. So NHL does the same thing. NBA gets out there, they do the morning shoot around, guys warm up, they get going to start the day. NHL does the same. They get out there on the ice, they start skating around, and they can find out the same thing. Then all of a sudden you get on the ice and they're like, oh my God, what happened there? Something's twinged, coach. And next thing you know, that's not the guy that started the game. So, hey, we don't sound like that. Sometimes you do, Kevin. Come on now.
Not you. We're not the folks in the chat. We're talking about the comments that come on the on-demand videos.
Yeah, or people that are nagging because you didn't get the goalie right. Well, yeah, I don't take so honest on that, but yes.
Yeah,
I told you it's just that time of year. I've been. It's been a struggle for me. 21 degrees is what the temperature is out today.
Yeah, it's been a record. Now, I don't know if you want to spend this kind of money. Rob, we did the math on how much money these teams made in gate, right? Your average ticket price is what, $1,500 times 50,000. You have 4 home dates. That turned out to be a big chunk of stuff. I wouldn't spend $100 million on those outfield walls. Come on, that only happens once. I'd rather put on the player.
Exactly. Blue Jays aren't poor.
No, they're not. They're not. But we did the math on how much they made in the World Series. Right?
That's what 1/5 of the sales they come in from the couple games in the World Series. It's like, that's a kick in the bucket.
Oh yeah,
I get it. Well, seamless outfield walls. I'm fine with that. No lodge free outfield walls. That'd be hilarious. They already moved the outfield in to induce some more offense, and we see some pretty low scoring games in the World Series. Pitchers duels in those games. Maybe they want to move the wall in a little more. I don't know. I think you take that $100 million and you can get yourself another couple arms. And don't take Zach Fallen, please. He's falling. Please.
Gallen's out there. I know the Zach Gallen's out there. Max Muncy's out there too. I forgot to mention he's a free agent. And I think interesting to note, Ranger Suarez and Framber are two of the top free agents in pitching wise.
We've seen Max though. He was doing this dance in the Dodgers celebration. He was looking like he was getting winded. He needs a little work. He's been eating good, as they say, as Max Muncy. Definitely been eating good because you can see it. It's like
no doubt. So average ticket price $1,500, 50,000 seats in Rogers, and that averages to 75 million in gates. You had four home dates, $300 million in gate receipts there in the World Series, hosting those 4 World Series, $300 million.
So we got the excess to get the seamless walls rolling. You just take a third of that, and then you still got $200 million to find yourself some more good arms, and maybe you throw in another bat or two.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think you got it. You want it all, Toronto. It's time to go all in right now. You've got the money to spend. Time to spend. Bring in a couple of better arms. Throw another bullpen arm. I would keep Bassett. Somebody's the words like keep him, but put him in the bullpen. Give him the starter money, but keep him in the bullpen. I'm telling you, he actually enjoyed it there. I think he himself. He's like, ooh, I think I found a better spot for me. I come in and these spot starts, and he only has to go a couple of innings. And look what he did. Absolutely lights out was Bassett in those spots these playoffs. So I love him. He better keep him here.
Yeah,
put him in the bullpen.
Yeah, bad news for the Padres. Maybe not. Maybe good news for some. Yu Darvish will miss the season next year. Tommy John surgery for Yu Darvish.
Oh, that's it. He's not coming back again. Didn't he have one already?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, second.
And he's already up there, almost 40 now, right? He's in the late 30s.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't know any pitchers that have come back from double Tommy John surgery and then expect
at his age.
At his age, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem when you have those. Now we're starting to see these contracts where you get paid a lot at the end of the term. Well, I'll just sit out and make my $45 million.
Yeah, might as well.
That's sad, right? You can't fade him anymore.
Nope, can't fade him anymore. Nope, not going to work.
Well, Randy Vasquez, he'll be a good fate, though. Don't worry. Randy Vasquez will take his spot.
Don't worry. Zach Gallen's going to fall somewhere. I'm telling you.
He's going to end up. There's a lot of guys like that out there. $1 million, $14 million. Bueller's out there, too.
Bueller's out there.
Stroman never got picked up when he got cut.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, don't make them Stroman either. Yeah, there's some pitchers out there, and some teams need some.
Austin Gomber. No thanks.
Nothing the Blue Jays are interested in. No,
that's Scooble. You can deal with Scooble. Scooble's going to be a hot commodity. If you're Scooble, I think you want to sign this year and not next year, because then you can look at the lockout. And who knows if there's a salary cap, you could screw yourself, right? That's interesting. Scuba is an interesting story here because you're looking at a possible lockout in 2027. That's when you could be a free agent. And now you have, do you look for a long-term this year and avoid that possible salary cap?
Yeah. Well, we'll take him. I have no problem. We'll take Scuba. Come on, buddy. Come on, north of the border. Woo!
You're gonna want about $500 million. You made $300 million in World Series gates, so you could afford to pay Scuba. You know?
Definitely, we'll take Scuba. We have no problem. You can come up here, play with Vlad. I like it. I think that's a good fix.
That's $300 million you wouldn't have had unless you got 4 home series dated $75 mil. These tickets are $1,500 each. Do the math. $1,500 times 50,000. All right,
and that was like the worst seats. We didn't even include. I'm quite sure that the gate revenue was more than that because there were some seats that were a little bit closer to the whole fight.
So let's say it's $400 million. Let's say you made you go. You made $400 million on World Series gate receipt. That's enough to pay Scuba.
Definitely. Right? No, Tigers. No, Mr. Weskers. No. Go on. He's coming to Toronto. We want Scuba. I'm going to start a chant all across Canada. Here we go. We want Scuba.
Yeah, that would get that arm over there. You made it. Hey, the World Series, take your World Series revenue, your gate revenue, and just pay Scuba. You wouldn't. That wasn't expected. You were not expecting that $300 million to hit the books. You were not expecting it.
Pirates aren't interested in winning either, so we'll take Skeens.
Skeens is out there. That'll work too. Skeens will work out.
They're not interested in winning anything in Pittsburgh, so we'll take Skeens. He can come on over.
Well, you can also get, for the price of Scuba, you can also get 2 for 1. You can also get Ranger and Framber in a package for them too, right?
Why not? Yeah, we'll take Framber and why not? We'll take the package deal. We'll take those guys off your hands.
2 instead of 1. Would you rather have Framber? Would you rather have Framber and Ranger or Scuba? Because they're probably going to come 2. You get 2 for the price of 1 there. Scuba is going to cost as much as paying both Ranger and Framber.
I'll take Scuba.
You'll take Scuba, okay.
I'll take Scuba. Framber's already sweaty. He hasn't even got on the mountain. He's not even close to getting to the mountain for another couple of months.
So you'd rather have Framber than getting both Ranger and Framber?
Yeah, I'll take Scuba.
All right, there you go from Ron.
That's your guy. He's shut down. He can win, especially with the offense behind him that the Blue Jays got. Look at the Tigers did. He pitched absolutely amazing all year long, and they just didn't give him the run support. Well, the Blue Jays got the guys that can give him the run support. I'll take Scuba.
Yeah, and if you get to the World Series again and you face LA, you got another guy that can shut him down.
Shut him down. Thank you, guys that can win, because that's what you're looking for. You need that one guy that can get you 2 games. The one guy in the World Series that you need. You have one pitcher that you know is good for 2 Ws. Dodgers have Yamamoto good for 2 Ws. Got the wins.
Savage is too young. Savage was just too young.
And how does he progress? We'll see. Does it finally smack him in the face, the reality of what he just went through? Sometimes he could have just been floating on adrenaline the way it is for you, Savage. I'm curious to see what he comes back with next season and actually play a whole season, right? Because you got to remember his arm was still fresh.
Yeah, 3 starts.
He was in the junior, in the minors, and went from minor league. He went from like single A to double A to triple A, and just kept working his way up the ranks, and then came in and was fresh. So can he actually stand the whole grind of the 162 game season? Yet to be seen. We'll see it next year with him. He'll make a little more money, but still making the league like a minimum salary. Yeah. I think it might pop up to $750,000 a year, best. Best. Yeah. So it's not like he's gonna. He'll make a little more than what he was. But
the endorsement money will come in.
Oh, definitely. He'll definitely make some money that way, but he'll have to prove himself in a full season.
Unless there's enough endorsement money to go around with the hockey guys out there. So,
we'll see how the Leafs do. They might be desperate. In Toronto by then. Raptors are looking good. Hey, you beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
I know you took advantage of a tired Bucks team, but I like the way the Raptors are looking.
I like their roster. I like the roster additions they made.
Yeah, me too. So Toronto, hey, things are looking up in Toronto. I'm telling you, the Leafs are not horrible. They've got some guys gonna make a run. You've got the Raptors. They're gonna make a run.
And the coach has the players' backs. I've
Yes.
seen that.
Definitely, the Raptors coach is there for his guys and rolling along. Same with the Leafs. Berube there on the Leafs, same type of coach, has his guys' backs, and so does this, and so do the Blue Jays. We know the manager's got his team's back. He's right there partying and giving it up with his teammates just as well, which is a bright spot. So look up, Toronto. Championship's coming.
That's right. Listen, from the Dodgers side, there were a lot of bad years after that lockout win, after that COVID win. I mean, there was a lot of bad years there. Padres knocked them out. Philly, I think it was, they had a lot of seasons where they got knocked out early, and then they finally got together in back-to-back years because they had some down seasons after that win against the Blue Jays, against the Rays back in the day. So
you can't have the good without the bad. You got to go through the bad, right? You got to go through those couple bad years, trials and errors. You fall on your face, you get back up, and you keep going.
They had a couple. When they've had a lot of bad before they're too good because it can happen. So we'll see. So it's interesting off season here as we're looking at it. I think the lockout. One thing with this lockout, I think this is the year where we're going to start to see the media start to flex their muscle because how much money these TV contracts are on. You got to believe that they're going to have an input on what's going on here in the labor agreement.
Huge, because people don't realize how much TV contracts are and TV rights and how much money they pay to have the rights to see the games they want to see when they want to be broadcasted and everything. It's basically they count out to the TV market. Huge. As you can see, how many of these little appy things, that's getting a little bit awful, though, John. I'm telling you. You got to have the Peacock app to watch this sporting event. You got to have this Crave channel over here. Paramount's getting in on the gig, and you got to be on this TV channel here over here to watch this game. And I was like, this is getting a little, this is pretty bad. I got to have like 8 different TV apps to watch all the sports now. It's like,
and ESPN has not finished their deal for baseball next year. It's still up in the air because they want to know what's going on with this labor agreement. I don't blame some of these networks. They're like, hey, I want to see what's going on. That's what I'm saying is that the media TV rights are going to have a lot of input on this labor. People think there's doom and gloom coming. I don't think so. These ratings were high here, and we'll see how it moves.
The World Series, when they were doom and gloom, the World Series came in, and I don't know the numbers on what it went, but I'm telling you that the people that tuned in to watch the World Series have increased baseball. Yeah, it's exciting. That was an exciting World Series when you were on either side of people that tuned in. So that was only
especially speeding up the game. Speeding up the game really helps. We'll see how the robo umps work. The AI using AI to call balls and strikes next year. I'll see how
that'll be interesting to see. You're gonna have the robot ump out, and it'll be like the AI comment. Safe.
We got self-driving cars. We can have self-driving umpires out there. There you go.
No, I'm not trusting a self-driving car. I've seen some people burn up in those things. Sorry, they're not 100% fail through either.
Yep. No doubt about that. All right.
I can't do it. I just do panic. I'm like, no. I sit in the passenger seat going. People just have a nap too. They're just like, oh, on the way to work, having a no. No, can't do it.
Can't do it. That's
no
right.
driverless cars for me.
None. All right, I'm gonna do it here for the show. Any closing thoughts, Rob, before we close it out?
Hey, have yourself a good Wednesday, everybody. Make it a win and one, and don't forget to tune into the happy hour. See you guys later, 5 p.m.
Happy hour, 5 Eastern time. Tune in with Rod and Company. We go, guys, making a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony.